So I'm going to invite us to start lying down on our backs. And if lying down on your back is for any reason uncomfortable for your body, or if you need any kind of support underneath you, please take care of yourself. Please take care of your own body. And anytime I'm offering a movement suggestion, it is completely a suggestion. Um, please listen to your own body and do what works for you. All right, so if it feels okay to let your legs relax, then let your legs relax. You can let your arms spread out or you can let your hands release to your body. If it feels all right to close your eyes, then close your eyes. And whether the eyes are open or closed, let the energy of the eyes and the face drop away from the space in front of you and towards the back of the skull. I'm going to invite some deep breaths with exhales out the mouth. And as you breathe, really let your inhales expand and stretch your inner body. And as you exhale, from those sighing breaths out, feel free to make sounds. Okay. And taking 2 or 3 more breaths like this, and as you breathe, let's just release all that information we were just working with, moving intentionally out of the mind and into the body. Now I'll invite you to bring your awareness into the surfaces of your body that meet the ground. And then imagine in those surfaces that you are in the soil, in the earth, and that your body is decomposing. And let's invite all the places in our bodies that are holding tension and pain to let go, to decompose. Let's invite all the places in our bodies that we have struggled with to let go and to decompose. Let's invite all of the places in our bodies that have worked so hard, that have been our vital forces, our closest friends, to let go and decompose. Let's use our minds to imagine our bodies turning into earth. And as your body returns to earth, can you see how life starts to grow from the ground underneath you into the soil that you have become? Envisioning little sprouts, tendrils of life, rooting and emerging. What kind of plants would grow through your body? Just noticing what you see, what emerges instinctually. Where do they sprout? How do they grow? A very simple practice, just offering this dying practice for any moments in this coming season or beyond where it would feel helpful to let go. Reminding ourselves that this life is temporary and allowing the force of death to be a force of nurturance. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring movement into your hands and feet. Stretch your arms back and your legs forward. Reach long and then relax. Reach long and then relax. Feel the ground underneath you and choose one place where your body is touching the ground and invest in pressure in that place. I'm choosing my right heel. I'm pushing my right heel down and my leg and hip are lifting away from the floor. And then I'm releasing everything down. So I'd love us to play like this just for a moment. Push down somewhere, anywhere, and then notice what rises up. Gentle, intuitive movements. Feel free to bend your limbs, to explore any kind of movement that takes you off of your back, over to a side. Push into the ground and feel the way that pressure builds strength through your body. Feel the way that resistance turns to force. Just exploring these pathways of pressure in your body, pushing down to rise up. Being gentle with your body, listening to what it needs. We're pushing down to rise up. Awareness in the push against the ground. Awareness traveling through from a push. Where does it go? And I really want to ask us to follow the motion of where does it go? How does it move in? How does it move through? And without losing this orientation to the down, to the push, to the pathway, let's also now look for a little bit of reach. So wherever we're pushing down through the ground, how do we also then reach into space where our body is guided, where our body is moving? And push and reach through all different parts of your body. What is it like to reach through your skull or your ear or your ribs? What does it feel like to push through your nose or your shoulder or your toes? Exploring the relationship between push and reach in order to start to move away from the ground. And as we move away from the ground, we are moving into a different relationship with support. When we're on our backs lying down, we have a big surface of support. And the more we move away, the narrower, the more particular, the smaller our surfaces of support become. In the next 30 seconds or so, we'll explore coming to hands and knees position. And again, please move in right relationship to your own body. If hands and knees don't work for you, find another shape to come into that's a little bit less support than lying down. That could be seated. If hands and knees or if knees are okay, but wrists feel tender, you're welcome to be on your forearms. So we're moving through different relationships of support. And as we come to hands and knees, or as you come into whatever shape you're in, notice what is your base of support. And if you're in a table position like I am, then you're in a pretty stable structure. A 4 legs table is a pretty stable structure. And you might explore shifting your weight a little bit. Right, left, front, back. Can you load weight more into one place or the other? Now remember that bones are strengthened through pressure. But the joint spaces where the bones meet, also we can take care of them through alignment. So as you're moving your weight side to side or forwards and back, notice how your joints feel when you really push down into the ground as opposed to when you don't. So if you're meeting the force of gravity rather than collapsing into it. I hope that makes sense. What happens if you really push down into your base of support? Do you feel how there's movement that travels upwards into your core through the joints? Let's start to experiment with lifting a limb. You might start with a hand or an arm. Feeling your base of support is getting narrower, it's getting less. You might take a leg back or out. If you're moving from a 4-leg structure into a 3-leg structure, you're starting to work with asymmetry. Continuing to meet the ground through your press, through your push. If you're working in your seat or another shape, play here with the same idea, working with meeting the ground in order to take weight off the ground. If you've been moving from 4 legs into 3, let's try moving from 4 legs into 2. Maybe 2 hands coming up, or I don't know about 2 legs. You could hop up, little handstand play, an arm and a leg. As you move away from support, continue to push down and reach into the ground. And notice what happens in your core body. Meeting the ground, meeting the earth, building strength through the core, through the central channel, central force. What I'm going to propose next is not going to work for everybody's knees. I know this already. Okay, so I'm going to propose next that we come to stand on the knees. And if that does not work for you, any knee problems, if this does not work for you, then I'll say already that you could just come up and into a little bit of a bent leg stance if that does work for you, or you can sit on your seat. If it works to stand on your knees, to start to rise your torso up. Again, we want to kind of invest in the ground underneath. We're systematically moving away from support. The base of support is getting less. If you can stand on 2 knees, could you stand on 1? Could you take a foot forward? Lift a knee up or out. If you're playing here, if you're playing here, as you lift, you have to invest your weight, right? So if you just try and take weight out, it probably won't work so well. So we're going to shift weight into the support structure and really reach down until the other side lifts, right? Almost on its own. Can I bring weight all the way into one side so the other side almost floats up? And maybe I can bring a foot forward. Okay, so if you're coming from your knees, maybe you can bring a foot forward. And guess where we're going to go next, right? Like, how do we come to stand? Please feel free to use any support that you need with your arms, your hands, your chairs, your furniture. Take care of your bodies, please. We're really going to try and find the push down to lift up, right? To find our way to come to stand. And take your time, and you might want to move a couple of times if you're feeling exploratory or wobbly, or you want to give it a go a few more times. How do you invest so deeply in the support underneath you that movement upwards, that progression upwards, it's almost like you're floating. I'm going to push down to reach up. Okay, and then when you're ready, eventually, as you're ready, we're coming to stand. Okay. And then in your standing shape, let's stand with the feet wide apart. Let's really take a nice wide base. And let's invest in this base. Okay, so we did this a little bit last month in the Sagittarius Season Workshop. We might really feel into the core of our bodies, and from the core of the body, push down into the ground. And feel how that push into earth allows the body, the carriage of the torso, to be held over the legs, over the lower body. Pushing down into the ground to rise into space. Let's bring a gentle sway side to side. Allowing the inner body and the fluid body to shift. Like a tree in the breeze. Find your sway, almost like a slow dance. Swaying side to side. Now, as you sway over to one side, feel that your other foot gets light. And we're going to sway side to side. And as you sway over to one side, really let your sway be a meeting of gravity. So the other side gets light. It just floats up off the ground. So we're not trying to lift our foot away from the ground. We're actually really grounding into one side until the other side floats. pushing down, investing in that connection towards earth until it leads to space. And then coming back to your sway, I invite you to bring your hands over your tummy. I invite you to keep swaying just a little bit, softly side to side. Okay, so in any posture that we take, we are working with the alignment of our bones. Wiggle your toes, feel your heels on the ground. Maybe roll a little bit to the inner and the outer heels. Just feel how your ankles move. Bring awareness into your knee joints. Okay, Capricorn rules the knees, and our knees are really brilliant teachers. And a lot of times, especially in standing, our knees will let us know if we're bracing. So there can be a tendency for a lot of us to push the fronts of the knees to the backs of the knees. For some bodies, this ends up looking like hyperextension. But for a lot of us, that might not be what it looks like. But we'll kind of feel locked in the knees as we're standing. So I'm going to invite all of us to feel that there's just a little bit of softness in the fronts of the knees. And we're going to bring awareness into the joints. And we'll just invite the tops of the legs and the soles of the feet to know each other. Okay. Do your feet know your pelvis? Does your pelvis know your feet? And the knees are kind of a connecting point, a space where relationship can get formed or lost. And again, feeling our sway, feeling our fluid bodies. Bring into your mind's eye the shape of your skeleton right now, the shape of your bones. And as you sway a little bit side to side, can you feel and imagine or sense the sway in your spine? Does your spine know your feet? Can your feet sense your spine? Feeling all the way up into your head. Let's bring attention into the upper and the lower jaw. Feel the mouth and the teeth and where the teeth come together in the hinge of the jaw. Capricorn ruled with the teeth, markers of ancestry and lineage, and also teachers of tension. Okay? So posturally, we can notice, are we holding tension in the knees? Are we holding tension in the jaw? Inviting soft space between the molars of the teeth, the back teeth. Feeling the cranial bones, the skull bones swaying. Okay, does the whole body know itself in continuity? And does the body know the earth? Okay, so we push down, we feel the relationship of the feet to the ground. We feel the relationship of the body and the breath to space. Feeling where we meet boundaries, and resistance is also where we meet our own strength. I'm going to offer you a couple of words as a meditation. And these words are the shape I take. So find a point of pause in your sway and your movement and just feel into your shape. What is the shape you take? Noticing how weight moves through your body, where tension gathers, where is pull and where is push. In your mind's eye, invite one circumstance in your life right now that is a focal point of attention. This could be any number of things: a relationship, a job, a health concern, a desire, a need, just one focal point, and really concentrate on it right now. Okay? See it in your mind's eye and notice, what does your body start to do? Okay? As you focus on this point of awareness, this focal point that has been taking your attention recently, what happens in your body? Do you feel closure anywhere? Do you feel opening anywhere? Does your weight shift? Does your shape change? Do certain muscles grip? Where is your breath? Does your energy stay in your body or does it start to leave? If it leaves, where is it going? As a point of meditation, especially working with these retrogrades, noticing the shape you take in relationship to the focal points, to what you're circling back with and around. Okay, and then let's move our hands. And to close this practice, let's feel our skin. And let's caress the whole body, or as much of it as you can, through your clothes, really bringing attention to your skin. The largest sense organ of your body. This incredible, protective, containing, permeable, sensitive boundary, barrier, membrane. Try and feel your skin all the way around your body. As much skin as you can get. And as you feel your skin, and maybe open your eyes now and see your skin. See its sheen, its color, the hair on it, the texture of it, its tiny little pores. And then the mantra, the phrase of meditation, this is the skin I'm in. Skin has so much meaning in our world. Okay, this is the skin I'm in. This is the shape I take. Let's caress the skin and honor the skin as you honor everything that your skin does, everything that your skin is. And then let's really take a moment and really try and feel inside of ourselves. Feeling the outer layers of our skin, where they touch cloth and air and texture, noticing all that the skin holds inside of itself. Okay. The contents are vast. We notice the container. Okay. Inside the skin, the inner experience, noticing that. Feeling the structure and support of the skeleton. Really feeling inside of yourself and from your inner body, your relationship to the ground and your relationship to space. And if you just closed your eyes, then open them again and see the space you're in and let your eyes move around. And as your eyes move, can you stay inside your experience? As you see the space, can you feel the space inside? Noticing how you're touched by the information that you receive. And then allowing your eyes slowly to drift back towards the screen. And can you see me? And notice what happens when you see me. When you see my face, do you come out of yourself? Can you stay inside? Can you continue to be present with the sensations across your skin, with the contents of the inner body as you see me? Can you feel your relationship to ground? Can you feel your heart? And then allowing your eyes to close again. We'll close our practice, coming back inside into the inner space. And I'll invite us to make this universal gesture, bringing the hands together to touch. It's a gesture of prayer. And as our hands touch, let's feel the outer edges of the hands and the fingertips come together, and let's open just a little bit of space between the palms, honoring here this Capricorn essence of containment, of sacred space, the space inside what we are holding. And I'm going to leave you with a question that might also be a prayer. Okay, so when I say this question, really feel it in your heart. What will you build with your life? Feel the shape you're in, the skin you're in, the shapes you take. Feel your connection to the earth, your relationship to gravity, your existence in space, all of your breath. What will you build with your life? From our inner bodies, let's bow. We're bowing to this question and bowing to one another. And then as we're ready, eyes can open, hands can release.